Well, PETA, looks like you're at it again. I mean, last year it was the Super Mario 3D Land Crusade. Now you seem to be updating your Crusade against Ridiculous with. I mean, Pokemon Black and White 2 came out this past Sunday. Okay, so you definitely had to jump off that back when. I mean, you're the last, and once again, you're late to the party in criticizing these games. Using the method you just spoke about, I mean, not even mad this time. I'm actually kind of amused. So, when this, I'm gonna tell you about this whole thing with this crusade against Pokemon, man. And I'm not above the fact that it could very well be seen as animal fighting. You know, some folks. I mean, Black and White deconstructed into with Team Plasma, but this is just weird. So, you ready? Gonna be making a lot of edits in this video, so I'm gonna show you some photos as what the new Crusade is against and how they're going about it. Yes, that's their new thing. Apparently, I mean, it's Pokemon Black and Blue. It's a Flash game, and it's ostensibly a parody of the Pokemon RPG. He's as well as there's some elements from the anime. Is one of the prizes you get in is the card game as well. I mean, to be fair, the game design element of it is decent. I mean, I'm gonna show you my playthrough of it. I mean, and how well. I mean, they did put some effort into the RPG. You get a look and play of the RPGs. It's just that the writing is just ludicrous. It's so bad. I mean, depends on how high your tolerance is with seeing this sort of thing, seeing the gory, grim, dark parodies of it. But I can honestly say I did not expect that their solution, their protest against the games would be to use, essentially put a syringe in Snivy's head and make typical partial meat parody. I mean, meat parts. It's have Oshawott been skinned, and also have his scales apparently, and also Pikachu with a bitten ear and a collar. So I'm gonna start showing you things when I play through of it. So, I mean, to be honest, the gameplay is kind of a mixture of Mortal Kombat and the Pokemon RPGs and Ultra Beast a bit. I mean, that's how I describe it. So, here we go. Yes, folks, I did not doctor that. That's actually what happens when you first start the game. Yeah. You are Pikachu, who escaped from your trainer, and your first opponent is Sharon, who, instead of a scholarly trainer who's gruff, not yet fair, he's a gym leader in the new games, and he's apparently been turned into a drunken, and beating redneck. I mean, I know it's common for environmentally friendly works to demonize humans a lot, but this is definitely a big case of black comedy I ever saw. I mean, if I take it the wrong way, feel free to call me out on it, but it's kind of based on he's on South Park and Family Guy, so used to this sort of bit of gallows humor in a way. I mean, with Pikachu you get normal attacks like Thunder Shock and Quick Attack, but also ones like Shame and Educate, which lower the defense of the trainers. I mean, don't worry, we'll get to that. I mean, also, I want you to pay attention to two things. Hands in the screenshots I'm posting. So, one, the Isoportine Plasma sign. I mean, that Pikachu is holding, since it's clear that kind of missing the point of Team Plasma's intentions. And two, with the time stamp on the upper left corner of my Mac screen cap. So, yes, I mean, just be sure. I mean, the reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't really have the hard drive space or equipment to do a whole playthrough of one video, but we don't like this, so it'll be fine. So, your next opponent is Professor Juniper, who, according to PETA, apparently experiments on Pokemon, and then part of her attacks are throwing poison vials or hails at the Pokemon, which does nothing but spraying them with perfume damages them. So, pay close attention. I mean, I even named my typic PETA sucks there. That's another sign that even at, and because apparently you can name him whatever you want. I mean, I think in the games where you try to name your Pokemon something vulgar, oh good, it makes you pick again. It's kind of like how if in Red and Blue if you named your character Ninten and it made your rival Sony. And I just love how they really just try to make her out like Cruella de Vil, all these ratted clothes and this poofy hair and covered in blood. By the way, since Halloween is coming, if you're kind of stumped about costume ideas, as I don't think there are going to be very many slasher film Junipers out there, so once again, it also depends on your tolerance to these sort of parodies. I mean, if you're not a fan of dead baby comedy, just don't play this game. One more thing. Another prize besides the cards and the wallpaper and that photo I just showed you, it's a video that doesn't make you cry, it'll probably make you puke, so just don't watch the video. I mean, yeah, I'm having problems with Flash now, so I kind of wish I hadn't told it to run this time. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going here. Okay, and now, see opponent number 3 is Getsis. And so, man, apparently, it spoils his plan from Black and White, so, I mean, usually when I need to spoil, I post a warning about it, so his new plan, rather than get revenge on you, the player, for foiling him, is actually to serve Pokemon as meat and use them as furs. And I named my Snivy Gozer, because kind of a fan of the film Ghostbusters, so I'm gonna plan to watch that film again for Halloween, And one of your attacks in this game is a petition. It's one with the Snivy. At least I think it's with the Snivy. And I'm not playing it again. And you don't just write a petition and get people to sign it, you actually throw the petition at your opponent. So, apparently, according to PETA, making Pokemon Battle is wrong, but throwing petitions at people is A-OK. It also kind of creates confusion about who they were trying to target this game to. Were they trying to educate people? Were they trying to sway kids away from the game? Were they trying to sway fans away from the game? I don't know anymore. And maybe I'm putting too much thought into this, but it just seems like a hot topic right now. As you can very well tell, I wear my Pokemon band on my sleeve. So I actually just kind of, I'm not even mad this time. I'm actually kind of astounded and amused at this. So anyway, gonna keep the ball rolling and tell more. Now, you ready, Henny, for what I have next for you? Because let me tell you, it's about to get really, really stupid. It's also not going to get unintentionally funny. I'm talking Gorgo levels. I was on unintentional comedy here. So, are you ready? Alright, here we go. There you go, folks. And it turns out how according to PETA, Ash is the one behind everything in their game. Pikachu says he doesn't belong there at all. He's right. Also, does not fathom how they dressed him like a 1930s circus rainmaster. So, have a few more photos to get through with this last part of the playthrough. I'm also going to be talking in between them how absurd this is. Yes, if I may quote here, and since I am just reading off the photos, so you may excuse me if I slur a bit. I never asked you if you wanted to battle other Pokemon, stretch your legs. Eggs, you have always been a tool to me. And no, he hasn't. I mean, Ash loves Pikachu with all his heart. He would move hell and high water to save him, to protect him. He loves him like a brother. I mean, there have been songs written about how this. There are fan theories. It's been obvious. I mean, cares deeply for him. I mean, it's always been his choice. I mean, and everything's Pokeball. I mean, look at my shirt. Right. And he is riding on the comfort and safety of his head. And he's been disliking the Pokeballs for 15 years. He won't stop now. I mean, this is where PETA's rating becomes almost Seltzerberg proportions here. Just gets. I mean, I have more screen caps to go through, so it's just gonna keep getting dumber. I remember this last one. Yes, it turns out Ash's rambling goes on a bit further. But, I mean, he goes on to say, the only thing that matters to me is that I make a lot of money in the Pokemon entertainment industry. I don't want you messing with the minds of children. So, well, yes. Well, I do agree that, that Pokemon has indeed become quite the merchandising empire here, and that it's every bit about marketing as it is about storytelling. That. I mean, Ash definitely would not act this way. I mean, and he definitely would not act so callous to his Pikachu. I mean, if they got someone like Paul or Damien up there, or Seamus, that's a guy I just mentioned in one of my Rival Destinies reviews, was this could actually work. I mean, this whole parody was just a little bit better written. It could actually work. It could actually be quite insightful. It could actually delve into themes. I mean, but again, some of these grimdark parodies are kind of touchy subjects. Like so. Okay, got a few more photos to get through. Yeah, so gotta keep going. Okay, so the last bit of rambling I have from Ash here, or at least they say he's Ash. I mean, at this point, I personally don't think it's him. I think it's probably just some crazy, easy guy named Bill, who just put that costume on, started rambling about this. So anyway, the last thing that crazy Bill says is it's not their hearts are consuming me, it's their parents' wallets. Gotta catch 'em all, suckers. I mean, aside from the fact that Gotta Catch 'em All hasn't really been used much in this franchise since 2003, because that was when Ruby Sapphire came out. It has to make this a lot harder to do. I mean, I think the kids' heads and the other fans could are just tempted to spend their own money as well as the. You know what I mean? Me, when I was young, I mean, still, as well I still am, kind of motivated here to spend my own money on the things. I mean, it's just $8 less for a figure, here, $4 a pack of cards, it's about $30 for a game, and with $20 for a DVD, and so, of course, the tech was much lower then, but still the same principle applies. So, again, this sort of thing could work and if there was written a little bit better, but clearly that PETA's agenda has gotten in the way again. So, okay, so now, gonna wrap this up. I just have 3 more screen caps to get through, so I now have my final thoughts ready. Okay, so now my in one of my last photos, I mean, I have my Oshawott, which I named Kevin. I left my Pikachu's name alone, gave 2 crazy names to Tepig and Snivy, maybe, and just named my Oshawott Kevin, and I have vanquished Crazy Bill's schemes to voice Pokemon and it's sort of these crazy entertainment stuff. Okay, I'm gonna try and save my energy here for my own thoughts. So now that we have stopped Crazy Bill's scheme to abuse Pokemon, or so it seems that we apparently have inspired him to start an organization called Pokemon Unethically Treated Awesome. Real subtle. Oh, and teach them with compassion. I'll save that for my final thoughts. Yeah, so as you can tell by that end screen, and that was Pokemon Black and Blue, and if you've been paying attention to the upper left corner, notice that I beat it in about 24 minutes or so, 25 minutes. And the playthroughs after a single day that beat it in 16, but at the most it should take less than a half hour to beat. So, how does this compare to PETA's other Crusades of video games? But, well, Super Tofu Boy I don't really know anything about. The Cookie Molecules Animals thing, I already refuted that I mean, they were vegan and vegetarian dishes in the real Cookie Monster games. Super T Hootie Tanuki Skin, I did a rant on that, and it was stupid. But for this one, the game design, as I said, is surprisingly competent. I mean, I took a game maker class earlier this year, wanted to make an RPG, but teacher said we didn't have time in the schedule, so I just made a space shooter. But that's not important right now. And so, I think it was just the writing that made it a very dumb and unintentionally funny parody. I mean, as compared to other organizations that protest against Pokemon, I think what they're doing is they're not making the Pokemon look worse. They're just making the fact that you get to beat up trainers seem cool. I mean, it's also kind of weird how they put all the barbed wire and bear traps in the field, yet I think since most people in Pokemon World have yet to master the concept of a deadbolt. Well, I mean, so that's all I had to say. Gonna get some rest. I'm gonna play my Black and White 2 games a bit more. And so, anyway, I'll see you later.